I, Iago Felipe Rodriguez Gomez, do solemnly swear that I will make justice without respect to the person, and do equal right to the rich and the poor, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on me as judge under the Constitution and laws of the United States. So help me God. Do you solemnly swear that you will tell the truth, but the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to listen to the story of the criminal prosecution and the story of the defense of Mr. Michel Corleone. The prosecution can start a trio. After the prosecution turn, there is time for the defense to give the side of the story.
Good afternoon, Mr. Judge, jury. Today's the day we all want to hear Mr. Corleone explain his mistakes in the criminal world. We, me and my colleagues, think we found enough evidence to sentence Mr. Corleone because of his participation in the criminal scene. We found a witness in the person of Mr. Pentageli, who was very close to the Corleone family. We think he can confirm all the hints we have received from the investigators of the Corleone case, and we hope this will convince the jury. The reason why we are here today is simple. The things Mr. Corleone has done in the past are terrible and fully against the law. The prosecution is suspecting Mr. Corleone of the following misdemeanors: murder, drug business and exaction. We are convinced that our thoughts are right and that the defense of Mr. Corleone is too weak to react to reality. So, now we are going to give his lawyer, Mr. Heleen, an opportunity to defend his client.
Thank you, prosecution, for the opportunity you just gave me to defend my client, Mr. Corleone. I will take the chance and challenge the prosecution to get the right words out of Ms. Pentageli. Me and my client are going to speak the truth and deny everything that isn't true. Ms. Pentageli has never worked with Mr. Corleone in any way. It's possible that Ms. Pentageli has worked with Mr. Vito Corleone, the father of my client, Mr. Michael Corleone. In that case, is my client not responsible for the things Ms. Pentageli and Vito Corleone did in the past? It's possible to ask some questions. Me and my client, Mr. Corleone, will answer it with only the truth.
Mr. Judge, before we're going to interrogate our witness, Ms. Pentageli, we would like to ask Mr. Corleone some questions, if that's possible.
If this is relevant for the case, you have my permission.
Thank you, Mr. Judge. Good afternoon, Mr. Corleone. We have some questions for you. We hope you will answer it with the truth and by yourself, so we don't want Mr. Heleen to speak, if that's possible.
Probably, yes.
Are you the son of Vito Corleone?
Yes, I am.
And where was he born?
Corleone, Sicily.
Did he at times use an alias that was known in a certain circle as Godfather?
Godfather was a term that was used by his friends, one of affection and one of respect.
Mr. Judge, I would like to verify another witness's statement. Now, Mr. Corleone, you have been advised as to your legal rights. We have testimony from a witness, a previous witness. One, Willie Sissi. He has started that you are the head of the most powerful mafia family in this country. Are you?
No, I'm not.
Is it true that in the year 1950, you devised the murder of the heads of the so-called three families in New York to assume and consolidate your nefarious power?
That's a complete falsehood.
Is it true that you have a controlling interest in three of the major hotels in Las Vegas?
No, it's not true. I own some stocks in hotels, but very little. I also have a stock in IBM and IT&T.
Mr. Corleone, do you have any interest or control over gambling and narcotics in the state of New York?
No, I do not.
Mr. Judge, my client would like to read the statement.
I think this statement is totally out of order in this time.
Sir, my client has answered every question asked by this committee with the utmost sincerity. He has not taken the Fifth Amendment as it was his right to do. So in all fairness, I think this statement should be heard.
No, I'm going to allow Mr. Corleone to read his testament.
Sorry, Mr. Judge, but he's still going to do it.
In the hopes of clearing my family name and in a sincere desire to give my children the fair share of American way of life, without a blemish on the name and background, I have appeared before this committee and given it all the cooperation in my power. I consider it a great dishonor to my personally to have to deny that I am a criminal. I wish to have the following note for the record. That I served my country faithfully and honorably in the World War II and was awarded the Navy Cross for actions in defense of my country. That I have never been arrested or indicated for any crime whatsoever. That no proof linking me to any criminal conspiracy, whatever it's called, mafia or Cosa Nostra, or whatever other name you wish to give it, has ever been made public. I have not taken refuge behind the Fifth Amendment, though it's my right to do. I challenge this committee to produce any witness or evidence against me, and if they do not, I hope they will have the decency to clear my name with the same publicity with which they now have besmirched it.
I'm sure we are all quite impressed, Mr. Corleone, particularly with your love for your country. Thank you. But it's now time to interrogate Miss Pentageli.
We have here finally a witness that will further testify to Michael Corleone's rule over a criminal empire that controls gambling in this country and perhaps in other countries. The witness has had no buffer between himself and Michael Corleone. They have enough evidence to recommend a charge of perjury against Michael Corleone. Mr. Judge.
Thank you very much.
The next day.
Miss Pentanengli, were you a member of the Corleone family? Did you serve under the regime of Peter Clemenza, also known as the Godfather?
I no Godfather. I have my own family, Mr. Judge.
Miss Pentanegli, you are contradicting a sworn statement you have made to me and signed previously. I will ask again. Miss, are you under oath? Were you a member of a crime organization headed by Michael Corleone?
I don't know anything about that. I was in the oil business with his father. But that's a long time ago, that's all.
We have a sworn deposition. We have it. You sworn and murdered under the orders of Michael Corleone. Do you deny that? And do you realize what will happen as a consequence of your denial?
Look, the FBI boys, they promised me a deal, so I made up some stuff about Michael Corleone. Because that was what the FBI boys wanted. I guarantee you, they were all lies. All of them. So I kept saying Michael Corleone this, Michael Corleone that. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, I'm going to find out what the hell happened here. This committee is now interrupted. The witness is excused.
So now both parties can give their closing arguments. Again, the prosecution can start with their arguments, but after Miss Pentageli giving her suppression answers, I think it's going to be very difficult for you to convince the jury, but you can try if you want.
Thank you, Mr. Judge. I'm surprised by the answer Miss Pentanegli gave us. We and my team are embarrassed that we lose in this case because of lies told by a witness. It's a shame. We are still convinced Mr. Corleone is responsible for 3 murder cases because all of the hints. It's a shame these hints can't be seen as evidence, but we're not done yet. We will find evidence someday against this man who's terrorizing the streets of New York and Las Vegas.
Jury, Mr. Judge, I hope everyone has seen something special today. 1. The way how easy it was to mislead the FBI. And 2. That evidence is a very important thing to win a case. I want an excuse from my client, Mr. Corleone, because of all the bad things said by everyone because of his trial, but this man hasn't done anything wrong. So I want to hear an excuse for my client.
Mr. Hagen, I think you and your client have won enough today, and we have to wait until the jury has voted guilty or not guilty. So please sit down and wait until the jury has voted.
A few moments later.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Based on all the results and stories I have heard today, I can only make one decision. That decision is that the suspect is not guilty. According to the jury, the prosecution was too weak to convince. Personally, I agreed with the jury because of the same argument. So I'm going to state Mr. Corleone not guilty.
Make you rich if you kill 3 people for me. Don Barzini, Don Tatagli, and Don Strazzi. I have the weapon, so you can kill them. And you can call me when it's done.
Arrivederci. That's one. Tataglia. Second one is dead. Bye bye, motherfucker. He's dead.